Serious Gas today talking about the Kalimba. It's an African musical instrument in the percussion family, a very cool sounding instrument, very fantastical. It almost sounds like a music box, so it can be very hypnotizing in how it comes across. It's actually known in Africa as an mbira, and the person who first marketed these to Europe and America, Hugh Tracy, with his company, which you see on the back here, African Musical Instruments, he decided to call it a kalimba. Now, the tribes in Africa, at least some of them, use the word kalimba to mean little music. It's actually not the word they use for this instrument. Instead, they say it's an mbira. But for whatever reason, whatever you call it, we typically are going to say kalimba over here, but the sound remains the same. The parts are basically a box. You've got a sound hole here and the resonant chamber within. You've got two holes on the back over which you'll place your fingertips. And if I play a little bit here, that causes a tremolo effect. Listen. So if I just lift off and put back on those holes, it creates a tremolo effect. Very cool. I can also actually do that with this sound hole if I go here. You hear the same kind of thing going on. But it's a little harder to do, and especially if I'm in an intricate melody, I probably don't want to do that. So I think I'll rely mostly, as I do when I'm in the studio, just on the back sound holes. You've got different parts that make up the whole bridge. You've got a half round here that's kind of like a nut. You've got a Z bracket through which the tines go. These are all called tines. And then you've got a saddle here upon which they rest. And from here, from the saddle outward, that's really what determines the pitch of the tine. They are different lengths. You can tune them by simply sliding these back and forth. Now, they're pretty tight here, and so it's not going to be easy to slide them, which is why typically a lot of the kalimbas will come with a tuning hammer. So if one of them, for example, happens to be a little sharp, then at the top I would just hammer that down. That's going to extend that, and of course the longer the time, the flatter the pitch will be. If something's too flat, then I would have to do the opposite. I'd have to go down here and tap it up in order to get it into pitch. Right now this is tuned to G. Every kalimba that you get pretty much is going to be tuned to a specific key. This one is in G. You can get them in A, B, C. There's lots of varieties. And in the article on SeriousGas.com, you can see all about that. I've given you a few options to look at if you want to go into other keys. The notes layout are a little strange. If you want to do the major scale, it's not linear. This is your G, so that's our root note. We've also got a root note there. The lowest note on the kalimba is actually your third. So it's a bit strange how it's laid out. To do a major scale, you'll go back and forth with the thumbs. And now we're at our root. So once you get used to how it's laid out, it's not that difficult. But at first, you're going to be like, because it's definitely not like anything else you've ever seen. By the way, you can, if you want, lay this down and play it with your fingers, more like this. I have done that a couple times when I wanted to get a lot of chord action, like 4 or 5 notes ringing at the same time. You can't really do that very well with thumbs. So instead, I just lay it down and play it in an orthodox manner. You can do that. A little more difficult, I think, but certainly with practice, right, comes anything. So that's basically it. You can get kalimbas made of wood, you can get them made of plastic. Most of them are going to have a hollow chamber, but you can even buy quite a few kalimbas online that are just a flat piece of wood upon which the tines and the bridge assembly are attached. In fact, you can make your own pretty darn easily. There's kits also in the post on SeriousGas.com. You can check out all those links that I gave you as well. So I was turned on to the kalimba because of this fine band, Earth, Wind & Fire. These gentlemen have taught me a lot musically over the decades. I love that band. All these posters and albums remain here behind my drum kit. as a constant reminder of how awesome music can be. Thank you guys. And especially thanks to Maurice White, may he rest in peace, who was the one who played the kalimba in all of their concerts. Thanks, Maurice. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed our look at the kalimba. Now go out and get one and see what kind of music you can make.